Alright guys, so here we are. We're getting ready to board Odyssey of the Seas. Now, as you can see, this will be a little bit different because we're actually supposed to be getting some inclement weather. There's Sophie, being her usual self. So I'm going to do a video about that in a little bit because they're actually supposed to be some inclement weather, so we're gonna get more details on that. Alright guys, so this is what an interior cabin looks like. So this is actually mine and Sophie's room right now. As you can see, the one thing we don't have in here is we don't exactly have a window. So it's not that big a deal, but this is typically what one looks like. So basically we have no idea at all when we're going to be able to sail. That's not up to Royal Caribbean. It's more or less, I mean, they will be in on a call with that, but it's also based on the local authorities. So right now, none of the shops are open. The activities team is really stepping it up with putting in extra shows and things like that to make sure that we're well taken care of on that front. And let's see. That's pretty much it, other than the fact that I never thought in my 41 cruises that I would have to say that I've now seen snow on a ship. So basically we're just sitting ducks. We're kind of like a floating hotel, but none of us can really leave the ship to go out and do shopping and things like that. We all have to stay on board. So that is something that I've never experienced in my life, and honestly I never thought I would be in this situation. So it's kind of weird to think that it's even snowing outside when you're on a cruise ship. So I'm going to be putting together what happens when you actually do face situations like this. But it's all good. We're all safe and sound, and we're all kind of happy. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright guys, so this is what an a balcony cabin looks like. You can see where Julian is. That's actually a couch that folds out into a bed. And then right here we have the full bed. Hi, Dad. And I thought I was going to be able to show you guys the balcony today. Because I thought I'd be seeing some palm trees, but look at that. So they are not allowing us outside right now for safety reasons. But I've actually been out on this balcony before, and it's actually quite spacious. But don't you guys just see the lovely palm trees in the distance with all this blizzard and snow and all that going on? Yeah, so that has been fun. It's been interesting for sure. So this, guys, is the view from the balcony of Odyssey of the Seas in the middle of a blizzard. And you can see right over there, they have the world's tiniest plow plowing us out. Yes, so put it this way, it kind of looks like the Ice Age in here. Over there, maybe you can see through the snow and stuff. That is actually the Teardrop Memorial that is in honor of the 9/11 victims. So yeah, this kind of interesting sights. This is what we get to see during the blizzard of 2026. And the start of our not so sail away staycation. So this is the pool deck the day after the blizzard passed, and we still weren't allowed out on the outer decks for 2 days, which means we missed out on some golden opportunities for activities like making snow angels on the Lido, or building snowmen, or ice skating on the pools, or, my favorite, bobsledding on the splash pad slides. Alright guys, so we are getting to ready to do the most unique sail away I've ever seen. We are actually doing an indoor sail away, so I'm here in 270. So the screens you see, they actually come alive for a show called The Effectors, which we're actually going to be seeing tonight. But we're actually on the stage for where they're going to film everything. So let me just take you for a little tour. So right where we're sitting right now, this is actually what the actors are going to be seeing tonight. And this is in 270. Now the other unique thing too is the screens I'm about to show, the windows I'm about to show you, actually turn into a movie screen that's 270 feet all around. Okay? So it's really, really cool. If you get a chance to see Sail Away from up here, I highly recommend it. Hey everyone, it's Kristen and Julian's right here. So we are in 270. That is one of the biggest movie theater screens you've ever seen in your life. There's a couple shows that they do here, one of which we're actually really excited to see. It's called The Effectors. Now, I know nothing about the show, but I hear it's one of the can't miss opportunities, and it's going to be right here in the theater. I'm going to show you in just a second why they call this 270. But when they had the not so sail away party, this is where they actually had people, well, supposedly have a huge party and things like that. So this is definitely one place to be. It is on, I think, deck 5 all the way in the back of the ship. So let me switch my camera and I'll show you the rest. This is the setting. This is the set for the book. And here's that huge screen I was telling you guys about. Now, shockingly, right where that little black square is, that's where all of the screens are gonna be. Now, don't tell anyone I told you guys this, but there's actually names for each of the screens: John, Paul, George, Ringo, Yoko, and Pete. And gee, I wonder which one acts up the best. Acts up the most. I'll give you a hint. It's not Yoko. Alright guys, so what a difference a day makes. This was our view. We no longer see snow on the horizon. Yay! However, we're still not allowed on the outside decks because it's a little too cold, but hey, progress, right? Alright guys, so here is what the pool deck is supposed to look like, not covered in snow. We are on deck 14. There's a lime and coconut right there. So I'm going to show you guys a little bit later what it has to offer. Alright guys, so here's the North Star. This is on deck 15 midship. So guess what? I have a surprise for you guys. I was actually able to snag some appointments today. And guess what? I'm going to take you guys inside the North Star. You're going to get to see everything Port Canaveral has to offer. Now, there's one thing that was different for this cruise. So typically, you're able to book the free basic experience, which is what we have. You're going to be able to book that at 8 p.m. the night before. However, due to the blizzard, those appointments actually didn't open up until this morning. And I was so excited that we were able to snag an appointment. So you're going to get to see it from the inside in just a little bit. Alright guys, so we are here at the entrance to the North Star. So to get here, you're going to need to go to deck 14, even though it says 15 on the app. You're going to have to go to 14. And you're going to have to walk across the Lido deck and then come up to the base of the North Star. And then they're going to check you in. Right now, it's about 3:30. Our appointment is at 3:45. And it's really not a long check-in process. But if you're late for your appointment, it's $25. Okay? So also on deck 14, you're going to find Sprinkles, which is free ice cream. We'll get that later. Okay, so this is the solarium. This is the adults only pool. And I believe you have to be 16 or over to be able to get in. Now, what's unique about this area is you actually have access to not the flying bridge, but it's decks that actually like go over the side of the ship, which offer great viewing areas. Now what we have next is the Crown Lounge, which is available to Diamond members and above. You have your own concierge, you have your snacks, all for free. So this is Focus Photo Gallery, where the ship's photographers, who you'll see throughout the cruise, will be taking pictures of you. This is where you can go to get them printed out. If you have any camera needs, they're always happy to help you. And it's actually one of my favorite places to be. Next up, we have the Schooner Bar, which is Royal Caribbean's signature bar on board. Now, this is always packed, but this is where they have the trivia and the things like that. So if you want to come to any of those events, I would say get here more than 20 minutes early, because I've tried on other ships, including this one, to do some of the trivias, and I've shown up at least a half hour early, and I couldn't find a spot. Hey kiddos, so now we're in the Royal Theatre. This is where you and your parents are going to be able to see every single show for free. Yes, that's for free. Now, this place does fill up quickly. Like right now, we're about a half hour out to show. And there's really not a lot of people here, as you can see. But some of the ships that I've been on, they do fill up as early as 2 hours in advance. So you'll want to make sure that you definitely get here as soon as you can. The shows are typically at 7 and 9 o'clock at night. So if you have the first seating, you'll have no problem. If you have the late seating, I don't see a problem with that either, because the seatings are usually 5, I think, for the early seating, and 8 o'clock for the late seating. So there's a variety of shows here. I think Odyssey has Showgirl here, which we'll see in a couple nights, but right now this is the first night, so we're going to be able to see all the different types of comedy and musical acts that we're going to see throughout the ship, and I'll take you guys along with me. Okay? Bye! So this is the main theater where you're going to see all of your shows, your comedians. This is actually where the effectors are going to be, not in 270. 270 has the book. Now, the one thing we found with the theater was, because of the blizzard, we had some acts who couldn't make it. Yes, there were some on board who did a fabulous job, but we also had entertainers who were scheduled to come in and they couldn't make it. But it was awesome. Next up, we have Adventure Ocean, which is for, I think, babies up through 12. Now, there's different rooms that you can go into with different kinds of activities geared towards them. But the teenagers, we didn't leave you out. You have your own club that is more or less unstructured, but they have their own activities and their own staff, and from what I've heard, it is amazing. So next up is the main dining room. Now, as you can see, this is a multi-deck venue that's, I think, 3 decks high. We never had a bad meal in here, and I definitely have to say a certain shout out to our waiter, or waitress I should say, named Amalia. She was so bubbly and so enthusiastic about our job. She always had a smile on her face, and she made sure that we had everything that we needed, and we loved her. Guys, so here we are at the Seatplex. We're on deck 15. We're about to do the bumper cars, but you can also find playmakers up here. There's all sorts of like sports and recreation. I believe there's air hockey. So this is where you want to be. So this is what the bumper cars looks like. This is free for kids and adults. I do think there's certain age restrictions for being able to drive and like be in a car by yourself and all that. The activity staff can help you with that. I will say that Sophie and I did this together about 4 times, and she beat me every single time. So Sophie, if we go on another quantum class ship together, I challenge you to the bumper cars. Have you ever had a drink served to you by a robot? Go to the Bionic Bar and you will be able to have your drink served to you by a robot. It's really cool. So overall, that was our experience on Odyssey of the Seas in a blizzard. And the one thing that we kind of wish that they did have was a covered pool, because this was in New Jersey, and yeah, I'm from New England. I know kind of what the weather's like, and a covered pool would have offered something else for us to do while we were in the blizzard. But would we cruise a ship again? Absolutely. Just maybe not in the winter time. So have you cruised Odyssey of the Seas before? We would love to hear your thoughts. And as always, bon voyage! And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe.